Yes, well, good morning, Britain. It's just on 6 o'clock. Welcome, early risers, to the programme. And obviously, this is a serious news programme. We take our duties extremely seriously.
It's the party.
The party.
During that apology, within the guidelines, but many, many millions of people might not have seen that, which seemed holding and being at the party to the millions of us who were outraged about it. About the remarkable and shocking story of Ghislaine Maxwell in the wake of her conviction. Tells about that story, in fact, leading the Sun this morning. Talk to us about that.
Yes, exactly.
Odd and intriguing detail.
Yes.
So odd and intriguing that the Sun has actually got a psychologist to analyse it. Ministers came out and
telling the truth.
Yeah, exactly right.
And it was a lie.
Include Dominic Cummings is someone, according to the Prime Minister, who acts legally, has stepped down from. You know, if he sent an email saying don't hold this party, then Sue Gray should be able to find. All brings back to mind Jeremy Paxman very famously said when he was presenter, not good for politics, is it? I know we all laugh about the fact that we think politicians don't tell the truth, of lying
Repeatedly.
to Parliament.
Yeah.
The
To be,
horrible
and it used to, I know.
of lying. There might be a point at which, like John Major, he might say, put up or shut up, you know, and you did, working for the BBC, and I'm very grateful to the BBC. But whether you think it's worth the money, not a criminal offence, an option to pay the licence fee, advertisation of when you say, well, why should I pay for the BBC licence fee when I don't listen to Radio 1 or... Because there is an issue, isn't there, with people, younger people, and I would include you, not be where they would go first. And of course, that's significant because, as you say, they feel forced to pay the licence fee. Willingness to pay the licence fee continues.
I'm not one of the...
These images just in.
Yeah.
Can we see this, please? It's a mass breakout.
Of course, who were accused of breaking lockdown rules during the lockdown, now saying that Boris Johnson lied to Parliament. Test his eyesight.
And the whole thing about gender, he's a tainted witness, I would say. So look where that led.
Familiar phrase.
Yeah.
Of course, Dominic Cummings, who used to work for the Prime Minister, did talk about that event 5 days before. Have a photograph, of course, of members of staff having cheese and wine in the garden of Number 10, which we can show you now. And he said, don't worry, that wasn't a party. And as well, were they all at it? But there is a very serious point here, which is the accusation of lying. Because the Prime Minister of this country must be absolutely an authentic figure who we can trust. Implicitly, as the Prime Minister himself.
Especially when he's at the dispatch box to do anything. I mean, Sir Roger Gale last week admitting that he'd been to one, but didn't quite realise it was at the time. So as far as Sir Roger Gale's concerned...
He said that technically he believed it was to shift the blame from the people who didn't really understand the rules.
Well, I also think that's, you know, you were doing 70 and 50, you bang to rights.
So it's our main news again this morning, but it has taken a serious turn because it's the accusation that Boris Johnson lied to Parliament when he said he thought the May the 20th drinks party was a work event, and that's according to this explosive claim in the blog by his former chief advisor, Dominic Cummings.
Now, this is a blog that's been posted online, so millions have seen it. And specifically, Cummings says that he raised his concerns about this event in the Number 10 garden directly, face-to-face, with the Prime Minister. But he says, Dominic says, that his concerns were waved aside. Well, listen to feedback from you. Top of the list is Sandra on Twitter. She says, Boris Johnson is branded a liar by Dominic Cummings, who is a known liar. QED.
That's our main news this morning. We're going to be discussing this with Andrew Pearce and Kevin Maguire, of course, but first is Ranveer with the 9 o'clock on ITV tonight. Now, let's have a look at the weather with Laura. A beautiful full moon last night, Laura. Laura, thank you. Still to come on Good Morning Britain, these stars.
First, at 6:24, we're going to get the news, the travel and the weather where you are.
See you in just a moment. I want to ask you, because Ranveer reveals the shocking to Ranveer about this remarkable new documentary.
Now, just exactly 11 minutes past 7 o'clock, and that means it's time to get the news, the travel and the weather wherever you're watching.
We'll see you in a moment. Still to come, the BBC must address it.
You're watching Good Morning Britain here on ITV.
See you in a moment. Her next.
7:34, you're watching Good Morning Britain here on ITV.
See you in a moment. I'm actually pescatarian, so I'm going to have to look into the eyes of a fish next time I go and have my battered cod. It's a logical extension, isn't it? Still to come on the programme. Thank you both very much indeed. Comedian Josh Widdicombe reveals he's a descendant of Edward I with links to Henry VIII, and his mother-in-law created the iconic children's puppet Zippy.
That's the link. And now comedian Josh Widdicombe returns to stage with his tour, Bit Much, and he's...